It's time to get ready for the official regular season puck drop tomorrow of the Anaheim Ducks. So we got a little special guest to come on and have a chat. That more on this episode of Locked On Anaheim Ducks.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome every day. Thanks for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen every day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. I'm Kyle Kjer. I'm a lifelong Anaheim Ducks fan. I've spent multiple years covering collegiate sports, including college hockey. But here on Locked On Ducks, we are always talking about the Anaheim Ducks. And today, right before it is literally regular season Christmas Eve for the Ducks tonight, and we've got a very special guest bringing on the 23-24 21st Duck Trent Sullivan. Welcome to the stage. How are you, Trent? How's it going, my man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining me. It's always great to have some celebrities here on the show, so thank you for gracing me with your presence. Love it. So now, before we get into, talking about the current Ducks and what your expectations are there and what your experience was like as a 21st Duck, I just want to kind of get your background and your story and just what kind of led you to the 21st Duck nomination.
So it actually started, I had a lot of health issues as a kid. I had a heart transplant. Not a lot of people know what a heart transplant is. As a kid, it's when one person receives another person's heart.
Wow.
I was 5 months old when I had my heart transplant. I have a heart transplant defect called TOF. It's called tetralogy of Fallot. And it's very simple. Is I basically needed a new heart. My heart was just wasn't doing well. And, with that came a lot of problems and being on immune suppression meds for a long time. I mean, I'm 32 years old. I'm still on immune suppression meds, but I'm on the lower side of taking immune suppression meds than I am when I was younger. So it's basically they had to go in and cut me open and put in the new heart. So
wow.
A lot of other things is I have a lot of memory issues. So trying to remember the history of it all is 3 times harder than I can talk to you about, like, who's your favorite player or yesterday. So it's a longer process to understand what it is. But for those who are in the medical profession, they'll know exactly what that is. For those who don't know, it's the term's called TOF.
Okay.
Tetralogy of Fallot. So it has to do with a certain heart problem. So
okay.
I wasn't born with it. I found out when my pediatrician was like, hey, you need to go get a second opinion. Something doesn't seem right. And 32 years later, December 10th of 1993, I had my heart transplant at 5 months old.
Oh my goodness.
So when I literally mean the heart is as old as I am, I'll put it this way. The Ducks weren't that far behind when I was born. So the Ducks is as old as I am. So that's what made the whole experience about being the part of the Anaheim Ducks and talking about it. But I'll bring that on a different project on a different day. So
yeah. Well, what was it that drew you to hockey? How long have you been a fan?
So actually my older brother had actually wore the original like white, purple, blue Mighty Ducks shirt back in the day as a kid, and now he has two kids that wear that shirt. And so we've been Anaheim Ducks fans probably since the beginning of time. I've been involved. I liked it, but I wasn't like greatly involved until after I became the 21st Duck. I was actually neighbors with one of the coaches.
Okay.
Way back in the day, Mike Babcock was my neighbor who lived in
Dang.
Anaheim Ducks. My childhood buddy was his neighbor, and being affiliated with Chalk Hospital, it just all came together and stuff. So the Ducks has been a part of my life even way before becoming the 21st Duck. So that's
Wow.
where it's been. That's where it's been a lot of fun.
That's so cool. And we'll get into like your overall experience and how it went and everything after the break. But before the break, can you kind of tell me how the process of finding out went?
So I didn't know anything about it. So 23, 24 was kind of a really hard year. I had a lot of medical problems. I ended up having to go to the hospital. I ended up having an emergency colostomy surgery where basically I coded. For those who don't know what coded is a code red means person is not breathing, person does not have air. But the craziest part is this was still here. This was still active. And that's what people act is like. I think of it as like my near-death experience. People have different near-death experience stories, but mine was just, it was crazy. It's just, again, but it's back to having been on immunosuppression meds, too much iron and all that stuff. It caused, yes, you could be taking all these meds that are great, but there's also side effects and problems that you may think that, hey, but the reasoning why is just, stuff happens. Literally, as people say, shit happens, and literally stuff is happening, and I kind of zero control. So talking about going through that process, it's hard. It was hard, man. I mean,
I bet.
It was one of those. It's like I've dealt a lot. Everybody knows who I am nowadays because being with the 21st Duck. But for those who don't know, I've been through a lot. I'm 32 years old. I still take immunosuppression meds. I still go to the doctors. I'll put it this way. My doctors are like, "What are you doing right?" It's like, exactly. They're like, "No, what are you doing right?" It's like, I'm taking my meds and doing everything correctly. So that's my moral advice for those who are dealing with medical stuff. Just take it one day at a time, enjoy the things that you have, and do what's right. Because at the end of the day, it's all about taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so, like, do you kind of even recollect when you got announced or how you found out? Were you in the hospital at the time? Like,
well, after months of being on the hospital and stuff, and I had just turned 30 a month afterwards, and it was a big deal and stuff. And so my sister, Jacqueline Sullivan, her name's Jacqueline Sullivan, but her name is different now. But my older sister, I call her my hero because she's always been there for me, and me and my brother when he was dealing with his medical issues too. I didn't know about it until one day my dad sends a group chat to all of us. We have a family group chat. They're like, "Hey, I got tickets through work to this random game, very random game." And I was like, "Okay." That's very odd of you to get tickets, but I can see why. And it was a suite. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, oh, we got to invite our friends. I'm like, okay, this is. At first, I was like, oh, baby, this is an opportunity. Like, cool.
It's a party.
It's a party. And then so, like, I invited my childhood buddy and his wife, and like we had about 15 of us in a suite. I don't know how many.
Nice.
I don't know how many fit in a suite, but
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other sites. Indeed sponsored jobs put your post at the top of the page and help you reach the right candidates faster. With Indeed, sometimes you need a quick editor, you need something right then and there, you need the right person, and you don't have time to waste. With Indeed, it's quick, it's easy, you get your job seen by candidates really, really quickly. So now you can speed up your hiring process with a $75 sponsored job credit. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, Indeed is all you need.
But it was cool. And then, all of a sudden it got more like I started to see like things were starting to get weird, like not like oh, something's up, but I didn't know. So I was like, my sister was like, oh, well, it's obviously my sister and I, we talk a lot and stuff, but my sister like, oh, let's sit down and talk and and have a conversation about like, because I was just at a previous event with my friends and stuff. I was like, so weird. Why is she asking me? And I was holding her, my third nephew, Beckham, he had to be like 3-4 months old at the time. And I was like, no, I'm good. He's like, no. And they're like, no. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. Not the kid. I'm like, here, I'm fine. And then the doors open. I hear people talking and stuff. All of a sudden, right next to me, I turn to my this. You see Team Solani just showing up out of the middle of nowhere. Oh my gosh. And obviously, I've known who Team Solani is because I've met him several times throughout the years of different times. And he is absolutely my favorite player, and always has been. But it was just like, oh, hey, man. How's it going? The weirdest part, and the thing is that it was like nonchalant either. It was like, it'd be
just
like
another day hanging out with Team
meeting each other at a hockey game. And then all of a sudden it's like, and then that's when the whole introduction and stuff. So.
Wow. That's awesome.
Also another reasoning is because I had my 30th Heart Transplant anniversary party 5 months, and like a couple of months after that. And they're like, oh, like, what about sister? I'm on your sister's house to go take care of, some stuff for your party. I was like, okay. She was gone for almost half of the day. I was like, what'd you guys do? It's like random things. Like, did you get my invite list done? I was like, no. I'm like, what? What'd you do for 5 hours? And then I figured out why. And then after my mom told me the story of why, she's like, oh, okay. Makes more sense because they needed the video, the whole pictures, the whole deal. So it was super cool to have like my parents, my brother, my sister, all of my nieces and nephews, my childhood buddy I've known for 20 years, be there, and some of our other friends, my grandma. My grandfather, unfortunately, had passed a week after my birthday, so he wasn't there. So it was kind of an emotional time as well. So, but I knew he would be proud. So when I met the foundation for the first time, I was like, oh, okay, this is super cool. So I didn't even know this thing the 21st Duck thing. I didn't even think it existed. I didn't even know
that's so cool.
I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't even know it was a program. I didn't know that was even a thing to
Be nominated for.
No, I thought it was like, oh hey, there's this. It's like, okay. But I guess they saw my story, they saw the whole thing. My sister Jacqueline, she worked hard and long on it and a lot of days. And my brother-in-law was, and so to bounce back, the day she found out that she got a phone call from the foundation, from Jesse Bryson and all of them. She said, hey, just want to let you know, your brother is one of the runner-ups for these other, we just want to give you a call and your brother's been one of the runner-up picks for the 21st Duck. We'll give you a call if things change. Mm-hmm. Okay. 15 minutes later, she gets a call back. She's like, hey, by the way, your brother got chosen. And then my brother-in-law is like, when like you hear things when mom and dad are talking. My brother-in-law is like putting his ear against his door. It's like, and then he's like, yes. And my sister's on the other side of the door, like talking to the foundation, like saying, oh, thank you so much. And then so that's how it all transitioned into, being the 21st Duck. Because nice. I didn't know until like the game. I wasn't
no expectation.
The only people that knew were my mom, Lori Sullivan, my dad, Craig Sullivan, my sister Jacqueline, and my brother-in-law. Those were the only four people. My brother didn't know, my sister-in-law didn't know, my grandma didn't know, nobody knew. And the weirdest part is Andrew Nolan, who I go to the games with all the time. I saw him the day before at dinner, and I was like, dude, we're going to some game and this and that. And then when it all went public, I saw Andrew like the day before. They said, hey, don't say anything, don't post, don't public, because you know how they are. They want. Yeah. And so I had dinner with my buddy Andrew, and I was like, oh yeah, I got something to tell you. He's like, what is it? I'm seriously, I legit want to tell you, but I can't.
I'd have to kill you.
I feel like I signed an NDA. I cannot talk about this. And you know how hard, how difficult it is to tell something so exciting to your close friends and family. Yeah. That is hard, especially from the ones that you see every day. So when the foundation and Anaheim Ducks posted all over social media, Andrew's like, I knew there was something you weren't telling me. And so I have never seen my phone had so many notifications, so many text messages. I think everybody I grew up with texted me that day. People I haven't heard from texted me that day, DM'd me, messaged me. They were utterly excited. I've never seen so much excitement out of my group of people who care about me all the time. Never been so excited. It was one of those things that's like, wow, what just happened? What just happened?
That's awesome.
So that was the whole like, wait, so I'm the 21st Duck, and they're like, yeah, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, do you know how to skate? I was like, no. Like, okay, you got a week. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? I was like, yeah, you're going down there. I like pointing to the ice. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, like dead straight. Like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I told my brother behind me. I was like, hey, so I just got told I gotta go on the ice a week from tomorrow. So are we going to the ice rink? And he's like, yeah, I'll take you.
I'm gonna need some help.
My oldest brother Garrett, my brother-in-law Ryan, they took me to the because I live in Anaheim Hills, and the closest rink is Yorba Linda. So I went to that one. So, and then with also Great
Nice.
Park Ice. So, again, I haven't touched ice since. So I own a pair of skates and everything. So, but getting nominated, to be honest, it has been and will always be the highlight of like my life.
That's awesome.
Besides having that 30th heart transplant anniversary party and reaching that milestone with, because I never thought.
Yeah.
30-something years, I never would have thought. I thought at 25, it was like, okay. And I thought, well, then what? So, but it's back to I live each day to the fullest, and I don't I don't take life for granted. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, and that's where it's been great. And obviously I know you personally, so it's like how I am. But honestly, I love it. It's my passion. I'm not statistical. I don't know the players. I don't know anything, but I like going.
Yeah.
It just gives me it fills my day.
That's awesome.
It's I tell all my friends, like, oh, you want to hang out with me? Oh, I'm sorry. October to March is filled up with this thing called hockey. If you want my time, you got these many days to hang out with me.
Right.
And they're like, oh, great. This guy's back. This guy's back.
Well, real quick before we get into this, I got to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about just kind of what happened after the announcement and what that experience was like. Coming up next. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. With FanDuel, you can get involved with football, baseball, you got basketball, NHL, everything is on there. Get into it now. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. And we're back with our special interview with the 2023-2024 21st Duck, Trent Sullivan. Let's bring him back in here. Hello, Trent. We're back. So tell me, what was it like? You told us about finding out and how no one knew. Now you're actually part of the 21st Duck. You've done opening night. You went out on the ice. After that, what was the experience like? Did you get invited to things? Like, what was that whole process like for you?
So for me, it's been awesome, to be honest. Getting to be like the center of attention in front of, I would guess, the whole place was filled with people, and we all know how much a stadium gets filled.
I think it's like 18,000 or something.
18,000 plus on national television, on NHL Network, on the news. I mean, Bally Sports West back in the day. I mean, the fact that just the world knew who I was just was exponentially just amazing. It's one of those things that I will talk about it until I get old.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been fun. When it was my year, they included me in a lot of fun experiences. The Legacy Nights, I went to all three Legacy Nights with, the guys. And, when it was Kent French and Guy Bear, obviously I went to about 97% of the games. You got to understand, going to games for me, it fills my day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, yes, I do other things, but But hockey has been like the most awesomest thing ever. Like I said, we're pre-Christmas Eve right now for all of us, so I'm excited for tomorrow. But I'm really excited for home opener. It's like the one thing that like I look forward to every year, and to this day, I get recognized, and I'm not even the current 21st Duck. I'm not even the current 21st Duck. When it was Emma's year, she got recognized a lot. But it was funny. It's like, oh, hi, Emma. I was like, oh, by the way, no, it's not about me this time. It's all about her. It's like, I was like, I love it. I love it. It's great. And it's awesome. I've made a lot of friends. My community base has branched in the last 2 years. And I got to go on the cavalcade at Disneyland California Adventures with the players. I got to go to, some other events I never thought I would be able to experience. I got to, go to the Impact Club a handful of times down below during the season, thanks to one of my friends. And then, it's been one of those things that they've said to me, hey, just ask. If we can't, then I'm like, it's no big deal. I've learned to just go with it. And hey,
the worst they can say is no.
Yeah, the worst thing to say is no. And I mean, I got to do so much with the team, the foundation. The players are now they're like, hey man, how's it going? I was like, what? Are you talking to me? Like, yeah, you man. I was like, okay. Some of them were calling me by my first name. I was like, me? Like, out of like 1 million people, you know who I am. But again,
they're like, Solzy, what's up, dude?
I know. Like, you know who you are. It's like, so it's super cool. Like some of the players, when I became 21st Duck, it was super cool. Racco Gudis on Twitter, Racco Gudis, our captain now. Back then, he was something else. Tweeted on his Twitter, said, "Hey, welcome to the team." I was like, "Wow, I didn't realize this was this big." And the fact that like Timu Solani, the guy who's asked me to be the 21st Duck, literally tweeted the day of it got announced. Tweeted on his Twitter. I said, "Welcome to the club." I was like, "Oh my god, is this what it feels like to be one of them?" Like, it's so cool. But honestly, all in all, it's just been awesome. There's just no words to describe being a 21st Duck. It's one of those things. It's like it's a once in a lifetime deal. It's one of those things that you will forever like. Think about forever. And everybody laughs at me. I'm like, all you care about is hockey. He's like, yeah, it's fun. I no hate on baseball, soccer, or football, or whatever, but hockey's fast paced. Hockey's fast pacing. There's fighting. There's a small puck that goes around, and people are going back and forth on a hockey stick. With hockey stick. I can catch that. I can understand that.
Yeah.
So I say I'm not very analytical. I do not know anything about statistics. But the one thing I know is I love hockey and I love going. It is my outing for the day. I love it. I would not change it for the world. And I think ever since being the 21st Duck has been and will forever be one of the greatest moments of my life and my family's. And that has been such a great experience. Like to this day, I'm still in contact with, the other 21st Ducks. We have a group chat with the other 21st Ducks saying, hey, it's the Anaheim Ducks 21st Duck. And it's everybody who are older. Everyone's an adult except for Emma, who not her mom's we had her mom to the group chat. And
Uh-huh.
so I found out Emma literally lives a hop, skipping away just not that far from me. And I didn't
Nice.
realize she lived right in the Yorba Linda area. And I was like, you live
Just
down the
right.
way from me. I was like, oh, that's
Nice.
so cool. So and that's been super fun. There's a few things that I've done, but I can't remember because again, this is 2 years ago. I mean, the one thing that I'll highlight forever,
Mm-hmm.
dude, being on national television. How
Yeah.
often can you say, I was on national television? No, no, no. All
Not
my
very
friends,
often.
not when I was the transfer stock, my buddy and all of my friends were like, dude, we just saw you on television. It's like, yeah, I know. I know. I heard about 100 times today. I was like, I saw it. I was like, I have. And so that's where it was super cool. And then like behind me is a signed jersey from the team that was my year.
That's awesome.
Um,
I got the same kind of jersey.
I know,
30th anniversary. One of
I
my
know.
favorites. Trent and I had such a wonderful conversation that I'm going to break our interview up into 2 parts. So tune in for the next day for part 2 of the Trent Sullivan 21st Duck interview. And thank you for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On NHL Game Night. Every game, every night until a Stanley Cup champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find NHL Game Night on Locked On NHL or wherever you listen to podcasts, and go like and subscribe to Locked On Ducks on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts as well. And as always, I'm Kyle Kjer. Be good out there.